Let me tell you, some of these kind of unexpected for this year and even surprised myself. Fresh new quilting trends for 2025 are coming at you. So today I want you to grab your coffee, get cozy, and let's dive into what is hot in the quilting world this spring. Hey there, quilters. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Kristen with IC Stars Quilting, and today we're going to dive into the top 5 quilting trends for the spring of 2025. So some of the things on today's list might be a surprise to you. I'd love to be a quilter that does what she wants. I like to be a little bit of a rebel and kind of like push the limits as far as like creativity and all of that goes. I want to know what is a quilting trend that you are loving right now. So make sure and drop it in the comments below. What is something that you are loving right now? Like I said, I kind of follow the trends a lot, but one that I have definitely noticed making more of a push in 2025 is a maximalist prints and minimalist prints quilt. This year is about bold statement fabrics. Think oversized florals, abstract geometrics, and vibrant colors that demand attention. You've seen this kind of growing in demand over the past couple years, especially if you are in like the Modern Quilt Guild and you follow kind of the shows, quilts at QuiltCon and all that. You've seen these big, bold, dramatic modern quilts. But here's the twist that I'm seeing more and more of in the past 12 months or so, as it's kind of a growing trend. Minimalist quilts, they're thriving. Okay, clean layouts. We're talking like negative space and letting the quilting stitches do the talking, like not the fabric, just the stitches, right? And I really do. I love that. I know personally that I don't have a problem with the bright colors. You know me and pink, okay? Like if you are not quite that bold and you're hesitant, you can try pairing a bold print with a neutral solid, because it is able to let the design shine of that bold color without feeling overwhelming, okay? You can do those same bold designs, but just tone the colors down or tone the prints down, and you're still going to get this gorgeous modern quilt. Speaking of QuiltCon, I am planning to be there in Raleigh. So if you're thinking about going to that show, let me know, because I would absolutely love to meet up. Trend number 2 that I've noticed is definitely the nature-inspired color palettes. So not only bold colors, but we're talking like stacks of like earthy natural tones are huge this year, as we're thinking like the moss greens, the warm terracotta clay pots, right? These deep oceany blue colors, this rich sunset and orange, and it's not only in the quilt world, it's kind of like falling out into the design world as well, as interior design and in marketing and all of these other like industries that all cross over. What I love about this trend is how versatile it is. It works for both modern and traditional quilts, which is kind of hard, right? If you think like traditional quilts, you're thinking definitely like kind of maybe the more muted toned palettes and definitely more the vintagey style fabrics and all of that, along with the vintagey style patterns. But these colors look incredible on textured fabrics, and they look incredible on linen, and they look incredible on quilted cotton and chambray, and all of these gorgeous earthy tones look really, really great in everything. I feel like I kind of went off on one of my quilts a little while ago, and I did these earthy tones and kind of these like florals and things that I've always been really, really in love with, kind of the wildflower look. And I will never get tired of it. That quilt is so cozy, and it is something like straight out of my Pinterest dream home vibes. Like I wish I could live in it all the time. Trend number 3 is definitely about the hand stitched and visible quilting, visible mending, however you want to phrase that type of vibe. I think as a whole, as humans, as people, as creatives, as artists, living in today's world, we're tired. So perfection is just Oh no, I guess we gave up on it, maybe. So forget perfection in 2025. We are embracing more of the handmade look, whether you want to go into the psychology of like kind of coming back to our roots of like the visible stitches, the cantha quilting, if you've ever looked into any of that, those slow stitching, taking time to put down your devices and work on something with your hands to create. It's about texture, it's about personality, it's about creating something that is absolutely one of a kind. It's this cozy, nostalgic feeling that brings realness to your everyday life. And that is something that you cannot capture in a store-bought item. You can certainly come close if you're like a big box company, but you can't reproduce a one-of-a-kind handmade item. And I think that is definitely becoming more mainstream in the things that we're going to see in 2025 and 2026. So if you've never tried hand quilting before, here's something that I learned. You should start small. Start with a mini quilt, a pillow, a zipper tote, a bag with a tote bag or something like that. Start small, just something to get a feel for it, because those imperfect stitches give it extra charm. But if you go all in, like I tend to do, and just jump feet first, just go for it, and decide you're gonna do like a giant king size quilt, you might find that it takes a lot longer than you anticipated, but it's still going to be amazing. But I would encourage you to start small instead of going in really, really big like I did. But absolutely go for it. Try out the hand stitching for yourself and see what you think. Number 4 is curved piecing, organic shapes. This one I've seen coming for a while, but these curves are in. There's no we're not wanting to be boxed in anymore in these perfect squares, and this really fits in with like the imperfection, right? So I'm here for it. I'm totally in support of it. Gone are the days where we only have to quilt with squares and triangles. This year we're doing soft, flowing, organic quilt designs that just feel calm. And if the idea of curved piecing scares you, it's actually way easier than it looks. It looks intimidating, right? But then so do Y seams, and so do a lot of other things in the quilting world. But it's easier than it looks. All you got to do is just try on some scrap fabric. And there's so many great templates and techniques out there that are here to like help you master it. So do some searching on YouTube, this wonderful platform that we all enjoy. And you know what? Try it, okay? Number 5 is a scrap quilting revival. So scrappy quilters who are ready to use every single little bitty piece of fabric, this is your year. 2025 is going to be a scrap quilting revival. That's totally a real thing. I did not make that up, and I couldn't be happier for it. Quilters everywhere. I've noticed that they're finding creative ways to use every last piece of fabric, and not necessarily out of necessity, if that makes sense to you. Okay. It's not like we don't have the options of fabric stores. It's not that we don't have the ability to go and buy more fabric and, it would take 3 days to walk to the nearest fabric store and all of that. It's because we want to be useful, and we want to make use of all of the pieces that we have in our sewing rooms and not create more waste, okay? So I love this trend. It makes quilting feel spontaneous. It makes it feel creative, and it's a really great way to use up those little pieces of fabric that we're saving because they're too pretty to toss. You know what I mean? I have a whole bin in my scrap section dedicated to too pretty to toss. I think this year's going to be great. I mean, I think last year was great too, but I'm really, really excited for the things that are going to be coming in 2025. So tell me down in the comments which one you are most excited about, which one you are definitely looking forward to trying. I would love to hear that. And if you had fun with me in this video, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps me to get more quilters to find this video. Also, if you hit that subscribe button, I am sharing new tips, tricks, and tutorials every single week on my channel because I want to help more quilters find the joy in quilting. All right, that's it for me this week. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. I will talk to you soon. I'm Kristen with ICStarsQuilting.com. Have a great rest of your day. Sew something pretty. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.